Hey guys, welcome back to another Cook With Me. It's been a few weeks since I did one of these and I thought it would be fun to revisit our old Cook With Me format. These smell so good. They remind me of the smell of like my favorite cheese bagel. It has a nice brown crust. Today I'm really excited to be sharing a recipe. We're gonna be making savory breakfast muffins with cheese, bacon, and scallions. This is actually from my friend Amanda Fredrickson's new cookbook, Simple Beautiful Food, and I just love the way that it's written and the photos are so beautiful. She took these photos all by herself with help from a food stylist, but this book is one of my favorites actually because it uses everything that you probably already have at home. If you guys follow Amanda and if you haven't followed her on Instagram, please be sure to head on over there and check out her page. But her thing is called Fridge Foraging. Every week she does these segments where she goes through her pantry or fridge and takes whatever she has and gives you two options and you get to choose which one she gets to make. But basically, they are always delicious and super easy to recreate. So I'm really excited to share this one. It's just like called out my name, bacon, cheese, and scallions in a muffin for breakfast. How good is that? The recipe is really easy. Oh, and another thing I have to mention, the recipe is written out so simply that you can just look at it, read it through once, and totally understand it. Like it's written how you would talk. So like if I were cooking and say, you need 6 strips of bacon, cook it up. Like it's written in the way, like the way that you would cook it. So it's really easy to understand. Anyways, so first she calls 6 strips of bacon diced. I'm actually gonna prep all the materials first because for filming, it doesn't work that way. I'm gonna start with some scallions because it calls for 1/3 cup of scallions. And I'm so excited to tell you guys that I actually started a little garden outside, my little Honeysuckle farms. I am growing scallions. These are not mine. These are the last 2 that I have in the fridge and they're actually kind of sad right now. So I took the bad ones and I'm starting to grow them. But green onions are some of the easiest things you can grow. Like I did not know that until I started propagating my herbs and stuff. And so like when roots come out, you can put them into, what do you call it? Dirt, and they grow. What a concept. I've never had a green thumb, so when this actually worked, I was so excited. I'm actually growing mint and Thai basil right now. The weather down here is really warm right now, and I think that helps the Thai basil thrive because I've been asking my mom for some advice, and she told me that it's nearly impossible for her to grow Thai basil just because in the Bay Area, it's pretty cold. Yeah, hopefully they continue to grow and I don't kill them. But right now they look really good. Okay, we got our scallions. For the scallions, I just like cutting them really thinly just because I don't like huge chunks of the white part. They're not my favorite. Okay, and now we grate 2 cups of sharp cheddar. Tillamook sent me this. It's the best cheese ever. And I'm not just saying that. I really do enjoy Tillamook products. The recipe calls for 1.5 cups of grated sharp cheddar cheese here, but later on you also scoop and sprinkle some on top. So I'm actually going to be grating 2 cups. Let's see, do we want this thin or do we want it thick? Thick. So we need 2 cups of this. There's like a measuring thing on the side here so I can kind of gauge to see about when I have enough, but it's probably about half a block maybe. If you guys buy the pre-grated ones, they're a lot easier, but the only thing about pre-grated cheese is that they're coated with like anti-caking things, so I feel like grated cheese, like pre-grated cheese in a packet don't melt as well. And I kind of like grating my own cheese anyways. Probably could have done a little bit more. Do a little more. I'll do okay, this will be my 1.5 cups. And then this side will be sprinkle the tops. Maybe I'll go, you know what? We'll have fun with this. I'm gonna do smaller grates for the top. Just because the surface area is a little bit smaller, I can make it stick better. Okay, this looks good. Our 1.5 cups of cheese here and half a cup here. So I'm really excited to share this recipe and this book also because Amanda was actually one of the first, oh, got my bacon. I usually keep my bacon just in a reusable plastic silicone. I don't know what kind of thing this is, but a reusable bag like this, and I only had 4 strips left. Her recipe calls for 6. Unfortunately, I don't have any more, but this will do. It'll be fine. This is thick cut anyways, so I feel like it's comparable, maybe? I don't know. But I'm excited to share this recipe because Amanda was actually one of the first people that reached out to me and met up with me when I first moved down to LA. Like, we had no friends really. We didn't really know that many people. I had like 5 people that I knew down in LA, and she and I had been emailing back when I was still in the Bay Area about doing a possible collaboration, but then life was just really crazy back then. I used to think like one baby, Erisy was 3 months when we moved down, and I used to think it was so hard, but now like Nate and I look back and we're like, 1 kid was a breeze, 2 kid is really hard, and then maybe when we have our 3rd, we'll look back and say 2 kids was so easy. Nate's giving me a look right now. Yes, I still want another one. But anyways, Amanda reached out and I had lunch with her, and she's just as nice as can be. Like, who you see on social is basically who you get. She's just like so genuine and kind, and through her, we had another lunch with my friend John from Preppy Kitchen, and yeah, those were my first 2 friends from LA, and I'm so thankful for them. But except they both moved away, and so now I have no friends again. No, I do. Hi, Francis. Okay, so now we have the bacon, and now we're gonna cook it off. All right, so I have my burner here, and then I'm just gonna turn it on to about medium heat. And I'm using a cast iron frying pan here. I always seem to think that cooking bacon tastes, and it just cooks more evenly in a cast iron skillet. This is my 8-inch one by Lodge. Whenever I'm doing something like cooking up bacon or frying or something that I don't want my Le Creuset to get scratched or burnt at the bottom, I do it in the Black Lodge pan. It's just a lot more forgiving. And then it helps to season it too. So I use this one for like eggs. Actually, this is my daily pan. I use it for pretty much everything, just so I can be a little bit harder on it, you know? All right, it feels pretty hot. So I'm gonna add the bacon in, and then we're gonna cook it over medium heat about 6 minutes until it's nice and golden brown. All right, the bacon is looking really good, nice and golden brown, crispy. So with the slotted spoon, I'm gonna transfer it into another bowl. I'm not gonna lie, 2 extra strips of bacon would have been perfect. We love bacon, but I don't have any more, so this will have to do. However, we do have enough of the reserved bacon fat here to use for the muffin. So instead of butter, she instructs us to use the bacon fat, which is so genius because it's gonna add so much flavor. All right, I'm gonna put this over there, and then we'll start with the flour. All right, so now in a medium bowl, I'm gonna whisk together some flour, 1.5 cups, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I like that this recipe does not use yeast, although you normally don't use yeast with muffins. It's just that it's been so hard to find, but I did find the other day when we went to Trader Joe's, they sell yeast now, the Saf brand instant yeast, for like $3.99, and I thought that was such a good deal, but I didn't get any, just because I still have a little bit. But it's crazy how flour and yeast became so scarce. I'm feeling like we're kind of coming to the other side of this whole thing. A lot of places are now starting to kind of open up in stages and phases, so it'll be interesting to see how we all adapt back to normal life. Yeah, we'll see, but I'm excited just to go to the beach again. I mean, I don't need to be near people, but just being out, sitting next to the waves, listening to the ocean is really all I've missed. 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of sugar. What have you guys been doing with your time at home, any new hobbies, and what are you guys gonna be doing as soon as the state opens up. If you guys are not in California, I'd love to hear if things are already open and how you guys are adapting back to new life or old life or life. 1 teaspoon. See, that's the problem. Whenever I'm measuring things, good thing this is like not the same color as the baking soda and stuff and flour, just because whenever I use like white sugar, I'm always talking and then I lose track of what I'm measuring. So the sugar is good. 2 teaspoons of sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm using kosher salt, so I'm actually gonna add a little bit more since, no, I'll just follow her recipe. 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and then you whisk it with the 1.5 cups of grated cheddar cheese. Should I be whisking this first? Nope, all together. I should have gotten a bigger bowl. Maybe I'll do that after. Our scallions and our cooked bacon. And then just mix it up. Ooh. I have bigger mixing bowls. I don't know why I didn't grab it, but I feel like this is fine. Do you guys ever do that? Like you miss, what's the right word here? You mismeasure? Okay, too much talking. Okay, I'm just mixing it really well so that the baking powder and the baking soda gets thoroughly mixed with the whole mixture. And then we're gonna do our wet ingredients. So I'm actually just gonna transfer this into a bigger bowl just because we need some space for the wet ingredients. So I'm just gonna add everything here. Just wash that later. All right, so now I'm gonna set this aside and work on our wet ingredients. So, her recipe calls for 1 cup of buttermilk. I don't have buttermilk, but I do have milk and lemon juice. And did you know that when you combine the two together, you create a buttermilk? So that's what I'm gonna do. Basically 1 cup of milk and then 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. I have lemon juice reserved from dinner last night. I'm glad I have some left over because that's pretty much it for the lemon juice in the house. And then watch it kind of curdle up. Like you have to give it like about a minute and it almost gets kind of thick and cheese curdled. So that's good for the buttermilk. And then 1 egg, the bacon fat, then mix, mix, mix. All right, this looks really good. And now I'm just gonna pour it into our dry ingredients and mix everything until it's well combined, or just combined. You don't want a tough muffin, so don't overmix it. Yum! It smells so good with like the bacon in there and then the scallions too. Oh. So now I already have a muffin tin lined with some muffin paper. So now I'm just gonna scoop it in about 3/4 of the way. Oh, cool. This makes just enough and yay, I love it when this happens. Like I have just the right amount. Sometimes like my scooping is bad and then I end up with like 1 left or something like that. And yeah, it gets kind of annoying. But in this case, it worked out perfectly. Hooray! Okay, now I'm just going to sprinkle some of the reserved cheese on top. So in a preheated oven at 425 degrees, we're gonna bake them off for 15 to 18 minutes until they're nice, beautiful, and look like that. Here they are. Oh, these smell so good. They remind me of the smell of like my favorite cheese bagel. It's definitely because of the cheese on top, but they smell so delicious. And even though it's lunchtime right now, I am craving some breakfast food. I'm gonna let these cool down for about 5 minutes and then we'll break it open. All right, guys, it's still pretty warm, and that's how Amanda suggests eating it is warm because the bacon will taste the best. But I want to open this up. It has a nice brown crust. Oh. Someone's excited. Oh my goodness, it looks so good. It looks tender. Hold on. You smelled the food. It smelled so good. He had to be in it too. Don't touch that. It's still warm. Okay. All right, but we are going to give this a try. Just mommy will give it a try. Smell good? Mmm. 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 So the brownness right here, like there's crispiness from the cheese. It's so good. One of my favorite things is like crispy cheese or like a cheese skirt around a burger, and this, I'm telling you, is delicious. If you guys are looking for something different, something delicious to whip up for breakfast, this came together fairly quickly, and I'm sure you have most of the items at home. Definitely the bacon is key, but if you don't have it, I feel like just scallion and cheese muffin is really good too, and just sub for butter instead of the bacon fat. But you guys have to make her recipe as is, and don't forget to check out her book as well, and check her out on Instagram at It Just Came Out, and check out her Instagram page at Amanda Fredrickson. Thanks you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Say bye.